Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Vibe Nation. Today we're here to watch another video. Today we're here to watch I Will Never Rent a House Near the Woods Again. It's an SFM creepypasta. Um, I, don't, I have reacted to creepypasta. I mean, not creepy. Well, you can't Llama Arts and all that stuff, but SFM stuff, those two combined, don't think I have. So let's go ahead and check this out. If you want to watch the original video, links in the description down below. This video is made by Mr. Sniper. And let's go in 3, 2, 1, play.
I absolutely love summer. It's probably my most favorite time of the year. I know some people prefer autumn or spring, and those seasons are great too. But for me, there's just something relaxing about a warm summer day. Almost every year or so, a few of my friends and I have a little get together. We all take some time off from work and plan some sort of event. Last year was Eric's world famous barbecue party. Everything was great, until Eric set a stack of paper plates on fire, and those blew into the various tablecloths we had arranged. We managed to curtail the fires before they had time to spread any further, but that didn't deter the fire department from showing up anyway.
Of course, Pyro.
The year before that, Jimmy invited us over to his house for a pool party of sorts. He has a very nice in-ground pool. None of us swam in it. We mostly just hung around his minibar drinking and generally carrying on. Nothing outrageous happened during that party. Oh, wait, never mind, I forgot. Eric wanted to show off his mega super awesome cannonball, but slipped before reaching the water, and ended up cracking his tailbone before sliding into the water like a log. Don't run next to pools, kids. I could go on and on about all the events we've experienced in the past, but I'm here to talk about what happened during my event last month. Like I mentioned previously, we had all taken some time off work, and it was my turn to decide what we'd all do. We usually didn't take turns choosing like this, but no one seemed to come up with a different plan. I had been browsing through different destination spots and activities around my area. After searching for around an hour or two, I stumbled across a rather interesting post. Someone was renting out a lake house about an hour's drive north. Looking through the photos and glancing over the price, I knew right away this is what I wanted to do. I called the place and rented it out for the weekend. The woman on the phone sounded oddly excited about me renting the property. After speaking with her and finalizing everything, I immediately called everyone else and told them my plan. They were all almost as excited as the woman. Eric wanted to bring his grill with him so we could barbecue one day, and Jimmy brought some fishing gear so we could lounge by the lake. Our other friend Pete tagged along with us as well. He isn't a very outdoorsy type of person, but he still offered to come with. We each arrived at the lake house about mid-afternoon. The sun wasn't quite setting, which was good as it gave us a bit of time to survey the area and inspect the house itself. The house was much larger than I expected. For the price I paid to rent it, it seemed like I had gotten a really good deal. It's nestled between the massive lake and the crowded woods behind it. Only a solitary dirt trail cuts through the tree line leading to and from the house itself. Eric was already unloading his grill not 5 minutes after he arrived, while Jimmy, Pete, and I entered the house. The interior was very rustic, but I already knew this much from the photos. Different types of mounted animals dotted the high walls. The living room area was quite large. It looked almost like a recreation hall. A wooden staircase wrapped along one edge leading up to multiple bedrooms. An expansive kitchen took up the other half of the bottom floor, as well as a decent-sized bathroom. It looked like this place was designed for big groups of people to rent and enjoy.
Guys, I ain't gonna lie. I've listened to a couple creepypasta stories before, and honestly, this, I like it, for people who want to go ahead and listen to a creepypasta, but actually get to see the visuals. It was really nice. I would like to see more videos like this, honestly. It's it definitely goes and put things into perspective.
After exploring the house for a bit, I wandered outside and took in the surroundings. It was such a peaceful evening. As I stood there, breathing in the fresh air, I noticed something strange. Apart from Eric fiddling around with his grill, there was no sound coming from the forest. I couldn't hear any birds, animals, or even insects. Hell, I could barely hear the sound from the lake nearby. Even though it was odd, I tried not to think much of it. An hour or so passed by, and after eating some burnt steaks Eric so graciously made for us, we each retired to our respective bedrooms. Sleeping in a new place always made me feel a bit nervous. I may be the only one, but whenever I'd stay in a hotel or at a friend's place, it always takes me forever to fall asleep, at least during the first night. This isn't really a major issue, and it doesn't keep me from traveling, just an odd quirk, I guess.
No, understandable.
The bedrooms were quite nice. Minimal, yet decent. It had a small wooden framed bed, a stout dresser, and a nightstand with a small lamp. An empty closet adorned the wall adjacent to the door, and on the far wall was a long window that overlooked the trees and the lake. I was lying there, letting my mind wander as my eyes danced around my room. I wasn't staring at anything in particular, just trying to take in my surroundings so I could fall asleep more easily next time. Minutes slowly ticked by, and I started to feel my eyelids close, before a faint bit of movement out of the corner of my eye caused me to open them once again. I couldn't be sure, but I thought for a split second I saw someone standing outside my window. But that couldn't be possible, as the bedrooms were on the second floor and it was a straight drop down to the dirt below. My eyes locked onto the window, but after focusing for a bit, there was nothing out of the ordinary. The next day, we all got up bright and early. There wasn't a whole lot to do aside from wander around the property, so that's what I did. Eric was already prepping some food while Pete and Jimmy had started day drinking. I stood outside on the wooden porch with a cup of coffee, looking out to the tree line nearby. I once again let my eyes drift around as I sipped my coffee. Once again, there was hardly any sound, which I still thought was odd. I wondered why it was so quiet in the woods, a place that is often filled with the sounds of life. As my eyes drifted, I spotted a bit of movement in the distance. It looked like something large moving quickly through the trees. I thought it might have been a bear, but before I could adjust my gaze, whatever it was had disappeared further into the trees. The rest of the day was uneventful. We spent most of the time down near the lake, drinking and fishing. Eric cooked up some burgers which surprisingly weren't terrible. And before we knew it, the sun had faded. We all went to...
We've been hearing about Eric at his barbecue, and you telling me it's a common occurrence that his food is actually terrible, like horrible. The fact that you said it was surprisingly unterrible is very just remind me not to go ahead and try any of Eric's cooking.
To our bedrooms for the night, and I didn't have much trouble falling asleep this time. Around 10 minutes after I had drifted off, I was startled awake by the sounds of screaming. My eyes cracked open, and I sat up looking around in the darkness. It took me a minute to recognize the voice. It was Jimmy. As I opened my bedroom door, I saw Eric opening his as well. We each gave each other a confused look before going to Jimmy's door and knocking. After receiving no answer, I opened his door. Jimmy was sitting on the floor wide-eyed, covered in sweat. I asked him what was wrong, however, he wouldn't turn to look at me. His eyes seemed to be fixed on something else. Eric and I both glanced over in unison towards his window. When we did, I heard Eric over my shoulder shout, "What the hell is that?" I didn't say anything. I just felt my muscles tighten. On the other side of Jimmy's window was a figure. It wasn't anything I had ever seen before. With the faint bit of moonlight outside, I could just barely see its face. I know this is going to sound very weird, but its face was almost dog-like in appearance. It had a long snout and beady, hollow eyes. From what I could tell, its body was completely hairless. I'm not sure if it was just the moonlight outside or what, but its skin was a dark gray color with a bluish tint to it. Its eyes continuously darted from each of us, like someone hopped up on caffeine.
So y'all just gonna stand there? Y'all just gonna stand there and let this thing remember your faces? Huh? Is it brave, aren't we? Like, talk about what is that? I don't know, but I am telling you what I am gonna go do is go find my fire stick. I'm not gonna go ahead and sit there and just wait for something to happen. You crazy? Couldn't be me.
It was unsettling how jittery this thing was. It felt like an eternity of all of us sitting there watching this thing watch us. Then, it started to descend from the window. Jimmy and Eric didn't move a muscle. Yet, for some reason, I felt drawn to the window. I peered outside and saw it. Despite its massive size, it crawled down the side of the house like a spider. It crawled on all fours as it made its way to the ground below. Its hands were strangely human in appearance, but its hind legs were animalistic, like a dog or maybe a wolf. Its head turned back to look up at the house, and I could just faintly see its beady eyes darting around before it took off into the woods, disappearing beyond the darkened tree line. Eric, Jimmy, and I all sat there staring at each other for a few moments.
I'm not the only one that thinks that the reason that this lady was happy that you came to rent this place was all you guys were sacrifices. I'm just gonna call it as it is. I mean, like, who else? Who would be happy, so happy as he described it, to rent out a place? Like, I get it, you know, you get somebody to rent your property out. Probably feels really good. Get some extra money in your pocket. But if he's saying that, you know, this person was like really, really excited, I have a feeling that you were a sacrifice. That's just what it is.
Before Pete came stumbling into the room.
What took
asking
you
was
so
going on.
long?
None of us said anything, and we all went back to our rooms.
No,
I doubt
no.
either of us slept a wink.
Wait a minute. Nah, that something's up right there. Just as soon as this creature just leaves, Pete comes in. Like, huh? No. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that Pete is not the person that he seems to be. Maybe he was the first one that got eaten, and now it's wearing his skin. It's acting like, for all we know, was those mythical creatures. What are they called? I don't know. Skinwalker? Sheesh.
That night. The following day, as we all packed up to leave, I couldn't help but stare at the strange footprints in the dirt leading off into the woods. What made me nervous wasn't the fact that these footprints confirmed that what we saw that night was real, but there were at least 10 more identical yet separate tracks leading off in various directions.
There were more of them?
It's been close to a month since then, and I've just tried to forget about the whole event. I still have no idea what that thing was, but I doubt I'll be renting any more houses in the woods.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. Pete be looking suspicious. Because after all that, now you decide, oh, I'm gonna go and check out what's going on after the thing leaves. Like, what? Where were you this entire time? You obviously heard the commotion. Why did it take you so long to go ahead and show up? I would like to know. Anyway, well, that was I'll never rent a house near the woods again. And honestly, I wouldn't blame you. Yeah, no. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Vibe Nation. and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.